smoke up by the hour. Grow a lot of flowers. TreeHIgh, that my shit, yeah. FKG, I'm lit. Yeah.
Speaking of weed.
Yeah, speaking of that. What's up?
Speaking of that good stuff. So tell me, how was your introduction to weed? Like, what was that like?
Weed.
Tell me about your first encounter.
My very first encounter with weed was with like one of my uncles. And I'm gonna be specific. One of the uncles on my mom's side, so nobody, there's like two different types of families, but I'm not even gonna get into all of that. But my uncle on my mom's side, we kind of lived in the hood a little bit, and they smoked weed, and I was always thought to stay away from it. But they used to smoke it around me, and that was like my first encounter smelling it. And,
how old were you?
Probably about 8, 7 years old. Like, just inquisitive kid, like, trying to ask him questions and stuff. And your mama telling you to stay away from this and stay away from your uncles and don't, don't do that. And you kind of trying to ask why and all of that. But that was like my first introduction. Then the first time I actually smoked it, I was a little bit older. I would say about like 13, 14 years old when I first smoked it. And
how was that experience?
That experience.
Did you know what you were doing, or did somebody?
No, I couldn't. I was fronting. You know what I mean? Like, I was fronting because the dudes I was smoking with dudes that were probably a year older than I was. And, they were really smoking. And I knew that because you could tell by people's, the color of their lips, who's smoking weed and who's not, So, we skipped class one day and then we went down and smoked some weed in a little cut somewhere. And they were talking, they was asking me if I knew what I was doing. Same thing that you was asking me. Like, you know what you're doing? I'm like, man, what? Yeah, man. Funny thing is, I talked about my uncles. I was like, yeah, my uncles smoke weed. I know about this shit, man. Trying to be cool. But I hit it for like, a couple times. And that's exactly what I did. I blew the smoke right back out. Like, I didn't really inhale. No inhale. Like, I was like, I got a little high, but not too crazy where I couldn't manage. You know what I mean? But that was like my very first encounter with weed. And I didn't have an encounter with weed after that until America.
So it was some time.
Yeah, it was a lot of time. You know what I mean? I was a church boy. I was a church going. Even though I gave a lot of trouble. Not a lot, but I gave some trouble as any kid. You going through that peer pressure and all of that. I was a church boy, my grandma had me in the church. I used to be serving the altar with the priest and all of that, you know what I mean? Drinking, stealing the wine on Sundays after church. And,
okay.
Yes. Confessions of the heart right now. I feel like Kevin Hart right now. I'm talking on Instagram. But yeah, like, we really, I get a little bit of trouble. But what was the question? I forgot what was the question. What you asked me?
Your first encounter.
Oh, my first encounter, yeah.
Yeah, so you said that. Okay, so
yeah, it was a lot of time. And my first encounter with weed in America was pretty cool. Even then, it had been some time. I had to probably been about 18 at that time, 18, 19. And smoked with like one of my girlfriends and shit. Like,
so what's the first time you got like stoned? Like the first time where that shit hit and you was like, this shit hit right now.
Alright, so I smoked with my girl at one time. It didn't hit. The very first time it hit was in North Carolina. Going to school up there. And shout out to the Puerto Rican community. I had some dudes that went to school with me, but our school was, we had night classes and morning classes. And I was in the morning class, they were in the night class, so some days I'll come home and they'll still be there. It's like a short time in between. But one day they didn't go to. I think one day they went to morning class. 1 week they went to morning class. They switched it and went to morning class, and so we both they were my neighbors in my apartment. We both right there. Like I'm like, man, we ended up getting. They ended up putting me on to some shit that was out for me was out of this world because I felt so stoned. Like I had a little job and everything. Like they had this water bong, gravity bong type shit where they was they had a bottle in another bottle.
Yeah.
And pulled it, it was filled with water and they pulled it up. It was pulling all the smoke in, all the weed smoke in, and then they was like, oh yeah, hit this. And I hit it a couple times. And I was, I was smoking like ain't nothing normal. Like it's just like, oh yeah. And it hit me like I smoked way too much. Way too much. It hit me on another level. Like I was like, damn, what is going on? Like, so I went back. I was like, yo, I'm gonna go to my apartment. I gotta go to work at 4. Like it's like 1 o'clock. So I'm like, I gotta go to work at 4. So I'm like, man, let me go to my apartment. I go to my apartment, but I'm tripping balls. Like I don't know what's going on. Like I'm praying, like I'm begging God to like take this out of me. Like please put me back to normal. Like I'm tripping. I look in the mirror. My eyes are bloodshot red. I'm like, oh my God. Please help me, God, please. In that moment, I'm like, my parents gonna be so disappointed. Like, I was like, man, what am I doing? That moment, it was pretty crucial because I ended up calling work and I was like, yo, can I please take a sick day? I was like, I'm sick. I don't feel too good. And no lie, they told me because I had just started a job. They told me they was like, oh, you got to come to work because. We gonna write you up. I'm like, damn, I can't get written up. And I'm 2 weeks in, like in the job. So I'm like, damn, I can't get written up. They didn't even give me a warning. This is like, nah, you gotta come to work. So I tried to like sleep it off. That didn't work because my heart was. I could hear my heart beat, and yeah, I was just tripping like the whole time. So anyway, I went to work and I was lit. Like I was on next level lit.
At work.
I worked at Hardee's, you know what I'm saying? Flipping burgers and shit. I was a cook at Hardee's flipping burgers. Like I'm tripping balls in there. Just started, not really understanding what's going on. I'm still learning the system and everything. I'm making burgers and at that time I had just got, they had the little picture of the burger, how you make it. Each burger, how you make it with the lettuce, tomato, whatever that comes on it. So I was making that. I was like, oh, I had just got that part down. I was like, okay, I'm good. Like, so, but I had noticed, I seen the orders coming in. So I was just making the burgers. But then I was looking back, like, I'll send the burger out. I'll look back and I'm like, oh shit, they didn't want mustard. But I just made the burger that I saw on the screen. I was like, oh yeah, but I totally just missed like the mustard part of it, and it was like, yo, they would be like, no cheese. I'd still put cheese on there. I was just making the burger exactly how it was in the picture in front of me, and I totally fucked that up. Like, so whoever burger I fucked up, I'm sorry. That was back in 2010. We came to a Hardee's drive-through or something. I'm totally sorry. But yeah, that was my moment, and that high lasted forever. It felt like, I think probably like an hour before the end of work, which was like 11. I was getting back to normal, like, but it lasted a long time. My manager was talking to me. I didn't know what she was talking about. I was like, man, what are you talking about right now? Like, she was just talking, and I couldn't comprehend what she was saying because I was so high. Like, I would just get lost in my thoughts. And the thought that I was thinking was like, what is she talking about? Instead of listening to her talk, I'm thinking about what is she talking about? Like, it was that moment. But yeah, that was pretty intense. I'm still chasing that high today. Still trying to get it because I feel like I will know what to do with it now, but you never get those back.
You never get those back. Once you get that first time, that's the high.
That's it.
And then people chase it ever since.
Hell yeah, that's it.
Okay, so after that, Did it just snowball? You just became a smoker? Was it just a gradual?
Nah, I stayed away from
That scarred you?
That scarred me, man. That scarred me. I didn't smoke for a cool minute after that. Plus, the school I was at, they was doing drug tests. It was like a technical school, technical college. So they were trying to prepare you for the workforce. So they was doing drug tests on random drug tests on people. And so I tried to stay away from it. I smoked here and there. And I would always get pretty lit, get pretty high, smoke with some white boys. The second time I got high, I was smoking with some white boys, and I remember the dude telling me, he's like, yeah, it's some Afghan kush,
Afghan
something.
kush.
I was something with the Afghan. I was like, okay. Man, that shit had me cracking up the whole time. We was watching like YouTube videos of prank calls and shit, like, and that shit had me just cracking up, like. I don't know, like it was. I don't know if this shit was funny or not, but it just had me cracking up the whole time, and that was a cool moment. So yeah, I smoke here and there, but I didn't become a stoner till like a official stoner every day smoking until about 2013 maybe, or 12, 13, like around Thanksgiving, like. I didn't smoke for a cool minute because I was working at a dealership and driving people's cars, doing, anything happen, whether it's your fault or not, and you're involved in it, they'll drug test you. So I never wanted to lose my job based on that. I was like, I'm not smoking. Like
that's an interesting tidbit. So yeah, anything happens, like if you're involved in it, they drug test you?
Anything. I got into an accident. I was trying to turn into the dealership was in somebody's car. And the person behind me ran-ended me looking for a lighter to light a cigarette, ironically. So since I was involved in that, they took me right away and was like, they had one of the driving clerks that used to drop off customers back home if they dropped their car off and stuff. They had one of them take me straight to get a drug test, like. Dropped me off, and I think they took a hair sample at a time.
Oh, that's the real deal.
Yeah, the
hair samples go back, boy.
Yeah, the hair sample is the real deal. So I didn't really fuck with the smoking at the time. I didn't smoke like when I left school. I didn't really smoke like that. And it was one Thanksgiving. My girlfriend at the time, we was just like, her family was over and they were smoking. I came from work tired. I was like, man. It was like the night before Thanksgiving, I think. We were still open. That's the part about the dealership I hate. They used to close late and all that. Like, but anyways, I go take a shower and I prepare my food and then I'm eating and they ask me if I want to hit the blunt and I'm like, nah, I'm good. And I continue eating. Then they asked me again. I was like, yeah, let me hit it. I hit it. 2-3 puffs. Now I'm talking about I ain't smoking like a year. So 2-3 puffs, I give her back to her. And I'm chilling, I eat. It felt like I got like that first level high again. Like it hit me so good that I don't know. It was next level, man. Like I was like, dang. So I ended up going to the bathroom and staring in the mirror again. Like, oh shit, what is going on? Like. I'm about to like fall out. Like I don't even think I finished eating my food. I sat on the bed and that was all she wrote. Like I fell asleep right there on the bed, like in the same spot. I sat at the foot of the bed and I just like literally just like laid back. Don't remember laying back, but I had to lay back because I woke up in the morning in that same spot. Like never moved. Like in the middle of the foot of the bed, I was just laid down like. And that was an interesting night. And ever since then, I kind of just been smoking every day. And it gradually started with, a little bit, couple hits of a blunt after work, and a couple hits here and there, and then gradually, smoking a whole blunt after work. Couple joints a day.
I feel it. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Smoke up by the hour, grow a lot of flowers. TreeHIgh, that my shit, yeah. FKG, I'm lit.